on TV, there's some miracle happen, something out of a jar, and we say, you know what, I just want to spoon it in. I don't want to have to exercise. I don't want to have to watch what I eat. We want that, but I can almost taste that. I don't know if you do that. That's nasty. You know, best-selling Christian author Max Lucado once noted an interesting peculiarity about our culture. He said, well, growing up, all of his family meals were done around the family table. And now, typically, what happens is the parents say, hey, you know what, it's time for dinner, and kids go to the garage instead of the kitchen. You know, what is that saying about where our focus is? You know, that's one area of eating habits which is unhealthy, treating our body as a temple. Another area, it's not so much what we eat, but the quantities we eat, and sometimes compounded by the types of food we eat. Many of the patients that would come into our medical practice, they come to us with multiple issues, but sometimes it'd be a weight issue. And it wasn't so much the extra weight issue, but the problems caused by that weight issue. Whether it was cardiovascular, diabetes, knee and ankle injuries, just to name a few. You know, in theory, we can be anything and everything we want, as long as we do it in moderation. Balance and moderation. You know, it boils down to that's what's biblical. We don't do one extreme on the other end, eating too much and not exercising. But we don't do the other end either, which is fanatically exercising and not giving our body all the energy and reserves it needs to be healthy. In our medical practice, we had a patient, this gentleman was about 50 years old. To look at him, he looked like he was in perfect physical health. You saw him on the streets. I was talking to him one day, and he said that he spent the last 30 years jogging every single day. And he said eating healthy, his goal was to be as physically healthy as he could possibly be. The problem was he always jogged on city streets, on concrete and on asphalt. And after decades of this, now he had severe knee and ankle problems due to jarring and trauma. He commented that at one point I could run a 10K marathon without even breaking a sweat. And now I struggle just to take a step across the room. All those years of doing the extreme on the other end, of really not eating that healthy, and then jarring his body. Again, it goes back to balance and moderation. You know, many times we want to displace responsibility for things such as those cookies are bad or those French fries are evil. When it's not the item that's bad, it's how we use it. That's like these things. You guys ever seen these?
Oh, yeah.
I've heard they're good. I've never tried these things. I'm not much into chocolate. Anybody who wants one of these things? You know, I would do that, but I promised Abel that I wouldn't hit anybody in the forehead. And I did this at another church. I used to travel around a lot talking to churches, and this woman behind her wanted it, so I threw it and smacked the other woman in the forehead. So I say, what? Somebody in the front row. Who wants it? I'll give it to you.
Go for it.
But you know what? I got some more. You know, it's funny. Okay, I'll see if I can. If I hit wrong, it's okay. Good. I can do that, sir. Watch your glasses.
Yay!
Look at that. You know, it's funny. I went into. You can't find these things anymore. I went to 5 grocery stores trying to find these things. I went into 7-Eleven. And I bought 3 of them. I went into another 7-Eleven, and the second one over to telling the sell, and the guy said, oh, these things are great. And I said, I guess I've never eaten them before. I don't know. And he looks at me like, why are you buying 3 packages? But here's the point. Matthew 15:11, and the message says, it's not what you swallow that pollutes your life. It's not what you swallow that pollutes your life. We make certain foods bad. Instead of holding up a mirror and seeing it's not the food that's the problem, but it's our relationship with that food, the role that food plays in our life. Is it a balanced role, or is it a predominant role, or the other roles are completely lacking or non-existent? Let me throw some statistics out there. Did you know that there is less fat in 2 baked potatoes without all trimmings than in just 2 French fries? Wow. And just 2 French fries. Now, I thought about this in the first service, but you know, I really probably shouldn't go eat, so did you know that the average American eats 3,500 cookies each year? 3,500 cookies each year. And I'm doing my part for that statistic because actually these are my favorite cookies. Nut butters. So again, this is for the, you guys take these back to the youth and you can wow on those. Those are good. But now, you know what? There's nothing wrong with those cookies. If the same American that's eating 3,500 cookies a year is also walking a mile, or riding a bicycle, or swimming, or exercising, whatever, then there's nothing wrong with those cookies. Again, it goes back to balance and moderation. In 1 Corinthians 10:31, it says, whatever you eat or drink, or whatever you do, Do it for the glory of God. And going back to the 1 Corinthians verse we talked about earlier, it says, you can't live however you please, squandering what God paid such a high price for. The physical part of you is not some piece of property belonging to the spiritual part of you. God owns the whole works. Now I want you guys to read this next one with me, the next part with me. So let people's, come on, I know it's early, you're not meant this.
So let people see God in you through your body.
Actually, much more ready than the first service. Here's one that hit close to home with me. In a study by Prevention Magazine, they found that on the average, Americans consume 3,600 milligrams of sodium per day. 3,600 milligrams. Now, what that is equivalent to is 2 teaspoons of table salt more than the average body needs. Now, when I learned about this in high blood pressure, I thought, okay, I love heavily salted my food, and I don't want to give that up. But at the same time, I need to be responsible. I need to exercise moderation. So about 15 years ago, I found this. It's light salt. So I can continue to salt my food. It tastes the same, but I'm getting half the sodium as regular salt. Again, it goes back to balance and moderation. Balance and moderation. And with many things, it's about knowledge. Just as there are many facts out there, there's many myths out there about food. I picked out a few that I thought you might find interesting. Myth 1, we should eliminate all fat from our diet. That's not true. Your body needs 50 grams of fat every day to help your joints and your muscles work smoothly. If you get fats from raw nuts, olive oil, or avocados, those are rich, nutritious areas of fat. Look closely at the food you buy and try to stay away from hydrogenated fats. Those are the bad ones for you. Here's another myth. See if you've heard this one before. You have to go hungry to lose weight. The fact is that the average woman should never eat less than 1,200 calories a day. An average man should never eat less than 1,800 calories per day. If you feed your body natural foods, then you'll have no need to go hungry. You can pretty much eat all the fresh fruits and vegetables you want, and it won't adversely affect your weight. And here's another one that a lot of people tell me if you've used this one before. If I skip one meal a day, I'll reduce my calorie intake and I'll lose weight. How many of you guys have skipped a meal trying to diet? Okay, now tell me this. What's the most common meal that's skipped? Breakfast. Do you know from a medical standpoint, the worst meal to skip is breakfast? And here's why. Figure if you eat dinner at 5 o'clock, or if you're my house when Susan's not there, 9 o'clock, 9:30. Your body goes from 5 o'clock one night till noon the next day before it gets nutrition again. And what your body starts doing is saying, wait a minute, I got to start storing stuff because I don't even know when my next meal's coming in. You're eating almost 12 hours waiting. So if you're going to skipping meals is not good, but if you're going to skip one, skip lunch. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Your body's metabolism is self-regulating. And if it's not getting the energy that it needs for its reserves, it's going to start holding back. I'm sure you've seen all the commercials for the products that can speed up your metabolism, another one of those quick fix kind of things. The bottom line is, you can't speed up your metabolism. What you're born with is what you get. However, you can slow your metabolism down by eating unhealthy, by not eating enough and slowing, but you cannot speed your metabolism up. Again, that's like the vitamin to Vegemin. Or say, yeah, you know what, I don't want to do this, and this, I'll just pop some pills and speed my metabolism up. That's great marketing, but it's not good medical sense.